complicated, it's lonely at the top, it's difficult. So it's like, where's the confidence gone?
I feel it's very telling as well, because I look at someone like Donk and just watching his body language when he won the Kato Major. I'm watching Shirok in tears, and Donk's like, hey, good game, guys, like, that was fun. I don't think he really understands what he's actually achieved so far as a team, winning a tournament like Kato, the sort of run he has, and now it is absolutely starting to sink in. Now it's like, all right, oh shit, we're actually the favorites here. The pressure is on. So I feel like they're trying to temper the expectations just for their own mental health, but I don't think that's what's going to get them that major. They need to play the way they did in Katowice, unhindered, completely unleashed.
They play the best Counter-Strike there is right now, and I have no problem telling you this. You look at their T side, there's no other team that do it like Spirit. Protocols, absolutely tight. Ability to play fast Counter-Strike, slow Counter-Strike, good clutching ability, strong players towards the late round. And on the CT side, you rely on an incredible amount of skill. When Zontix is your major debutant, but one of the strongest anchor we have in the game, and Magix is like a gooey, supporty type player who can play anywhere. Like, holy hell, where is the weakness for Spirit if it's not their own head?
We have seen few weaknesses, though. We have seen slight little chinks in the armor, slight little cracks, and I feel this is where some teams are going to be putting in the chisel, trying to pry it open. I believe there are a couple of cracks.
They lost like one game. They look like one. They lost one game.
They have been tested.
They lost one game.
They can bleed, and you know what they say, Richard?
Yeah, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Absolutely. Could just real quick, I talked about him at the start. It was mainly to just see if the crowd was listening. But look, G2, I'm amazed. I really do think they could have come in as hometown heroes because they've got Hooksy. Hooksy's Danish, right? The crowd should be wanting to back him, but it just hasn't happened. And look, we're gonna tease it out here. Bring the graphic. Yeah.
There's still a reaction.
Yeah, okay, all right. It's a 50-50.
They're not going to turn on him completely.
But look, this is you're talking about nightmare scenarios, right? Yeah. Here's mine. G2 shouldn't be here, right? Like, agreed, right? I'm just telling you, they just shouldn't. We all saw what happened. We all saw Hooksy with 10 shots in the back of a stationary crashed opponent. And, you know, like, screaming after you do that when you win. I guess if you need to do it, fine. But here's the thing. It's like now, as we said about FaZe, all bets are off for this team. They've got m0NESY. I think he's the most valuable player in Counter-Strike. Maybe Donk is setting the highest bar right now. So they can conceivably win this major, and I'm just saying, PGL production, Hooksy's going to be on stage next to me, drinking a glass of milk. How's my major today, dickhead? And I am in a nightmare.
I mean, it's a nightmare for you, but honestly, if they are able to pull this off, it would be incredible, because we cannot forget the fact that for Nico, how tantalizingly close he was in Stockholm a couple of years ago. And ever since then, it's just been a disaster after disaster for him and his lineup. But now he's got the young gun, the young goat, the baby goat, m0NESY, who for me, is the most informed player coming into the playoffs.
He's the strongest sniper we have in the game. You're talking about this Nico who was that close to winning a major. We're just looking at a shadow of it currently, and that is one of the issues. But you have to imagine the idea, you have to envision the idea that he would show up for a playoff right now, being a big game player, the likes of Hunter as well. We can always produce better Counter-Strike when they're being put in these conditions. But I think the eye test doesn't lie. G2 is not a team that is in form, is not a team that is in confidence. They're looking for their Counter-Strike, they're looking for a map pool. They've been granted this opportunity right now, and it might just be, the merit of the players they pull it through.
Yeah, maybe. Look,
what did he get? What did he get?
Yeah, I know. Go back. Camera, I want to see. Whatever, it's done. But no, I think, look, I think actually G2 maybe needed that. Maybe it's just we just need one break. We just need one thing to go our way and to generate some self-belief. Because, you know, if God is on your side, can you lose?
Is it the God or the devil? I'm not sure about that. But listen, I agree with you. It's just been m0NESY consistently delivering in the server again and again and again and again. And I look at Nexa, Hunter, and Nico, the trio, who were there in Stockholm, by the way. This is a time to kind of, you know, lessen the load on these young kids' back.
Yeah. We're miles away from that G2 at the time. For personal importance and performances, we're far away from that. This isn't the G2 we're looking at in Stockholm. But I think the quarterfinal is where we set the tone. The quarterfinal is where you get to know everything you need about G2. Because if they beat MOUZ, nobody stops them to the grand final. And look, you got to be ready for that.
There's one of the team we have to talk about. One of the greatest organizations in esports history. Obviously always there or thereabouts in Counter-Strike, it's an RV. And they're a little bit different because the great one, not here. And now they're having to do it with new parts, new pieces, a new outlook. I saw an interview the other day. I'm like, this is how interesting Na'Vi are. You know, it's like they were saying about Simple. We don't know what his future holds. Maybe we win with this team.
You can't.
It is possible.
You can't predicate the future of your team based on just one player, even if though it might be simple, the great one. You can't plan the future of your team, wondering whether it's going to come back or not. You have to work with what you've had, and what they have right now is an Alexi B who's on a bit of this anime revenge arc, taking a lot of teams who kicked him unceremoniously, and he's made wonderful work. He might not be simple, but wonderful. Has stepped into some very big shoes, and he's walking the walk.
Yep.
I think it's a proof of concept of how the team is run. I think that's what I'm impressed the most with Na'Vi. The alliance between Alexi B and Blade has once again been successful. Like, honestly, their ability to just have new players coming in and take the time to establish a game plan that's working, to establish protocols that are working, and then trust that Alexi B over time is going to get the team to where he needs to be. I mean, listen, you got to be in awe of what they've been accomplishing as well. They're a low-key, a low-profile team. They don't really get a whole lot of time under the spotlight, but now they're here at the major, and Blade said, listen, we're looking for top 4 minimum. These are confidence words. These are very full of confidence words. Like, he gets to see them work. He gets to see them put in the work day in, day out, polish their Counter-Strike. And he says, top 4, or we are disappointed.
Well, there's a couple of players I want to talk about just real quickly for Na'Vi. And obviously, we've got the Sublime in the step-up from JL, who's been lights out here. But at the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got Imma, who has been put into this team after a really, really solid performance in Paris, but hasn't been able to live up to those expectations. Meanwhile, this guy...
They like him. They love him. They love JL.
Made a lot of friends at this tournament because for the first time, he's really put his money where his mouth is. He's actually delivered.
He's charismatic, and he's charismatic in the server as well. He's absolutely been delivering time and time again. Highest rated player for his team alongside Wonderful in the AWP. And yes, it's been completely opposite trajectories. I'm looking at someone like Imma. I'm like, dude, when are you going to be stepping up? Is it going to be the next event? Is it going to be the one after this? But no, he's consistently really failed to come anywhere close to what we saw from him earlier on. And I fear, depending on the result we have here, at this event for Na'Vi, his future looks very murky for me.
I mean, definitely. Na'Vi has always been a team that has the grand scheme of things in mind. They don't make impulsive decisions. They don't just remove someone. But just imagine the state of mind you have to be in when you're Imma and you are aware, you're self-aware of your limitations, and you have Symbol in the background just breathing down your neck. He's just looking at you like the Great Reaper, just like, hey, I'm just ready to take your spot, buddy. Yes, go ahead, miss that shot. I'm coming, I'm right there. I'm not saying Na'Vi's going to pull the trigger on that, but it has to be in your back of your mind. I'm sure it's something that they have addressed as a group. How do we deal with this situation? But the Imma problematic isn't going away. It is an absolute failure so far for someone that was touted as an MVP the previous major and is nowhere to be seen now. That has to change immediately, as in tomorrow.
But credit to Alexi B, though. The fact that he's managed to, no matter how many moving parts he's had thus far in his team, he's somehow managed to find him close to success. And this has absolutely been a statement to the amount of work he's been putting in with the team alongside, of course, Blade.
Yeah, and look, I want to say, Imma, by the way, did his best games on a stage, in a stadium, in front of a crowd.
A long time ago.
So, yeah, sure, but maybe you can find that gear, and especially if you're motivated, playing for your position, essentially.
If you're not motivated in playoffs of a major, I don't know what
No, it's fight or flight. Now we have to be careful. Yes. It's fight or flight, and some people actually try to get the fuck out of here instead of just facing the challenge. This might be what's it with Imma.
We'll find out what they're made of, my man. We can take a quick look at the bracket as well, by the way. Just to remind people who are joining late, obviously you missed a great start to the proceedings. This is what's coming at you on the broadcast. We've got Cloud9 Vitality. That's going to be setting us off, obviously, as well. You can see Team Spirit versus FaZe Clan. That'll be a little bit later. Eternal Fire versus Na'Vi. The two unknown quantities that can really shift the bracket drastically and destroy everybody's pick'ems, and Mouse versus G2. So look, we've got about, approximately a minute and 30 seconds before we're going to really get the show running. So I want to ask you guys, who are you picking for this?
Well,
who will win the major?
All right.
I guess I could say it.
Go on.
Who do you guys think I have as a favorite for the major?
Is it Vitality? Is it?
Of course it's Vitality.
Right? Vitality to win?
Big surprise there.
Yeah.
I woke up today, Rich.
No chance.
No chance.
Just give me a chance.
I woke up today, and I felt in my bones, King Karrigan will be crowned here. It's going to be FaZe. It's spicy, yes it is, but I think they're going to slay all the dragons. It's going to be FaZe winning this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I really don't want to pick it because I should know.
What do you got?
I don't even know what I'm talking about according to the CS world. But no, look, I I had the feeling phase, but then, like I say, I woke up to the nightmare. It's going to be G2. And everybody at home, I've made peace with it. I've made peace with the fact that it's going to be G2.
None of us been
and I recommend all of you as well do. It's actually happening.
I know. Trying to anticipate, get yourself into that mindset.
Anyway, we've got to wrap this up because we are getting ready for the players to take to the stage. And so that means we need to get over there and introduce you to James Banks.
Copenhagen, Royal Arena. This is the start of something very special. This is the start of a new era in Counter-Strike. And it all begins in a new game, fresh Counter-Strike 2. We look back and we see this major where lots of players make it for the very first time, going further than before. They're the new generation. Then we have the old guard, the legends. They've been here before. They know what it feels like. They know what it is all about. But Denmark is the kingdom of Counter-Strike. And Denmark has given us their Royal Arena for these teams to do battle and fight it out to crown the first ever champion of Counter-Strike 2. Legends will be made here. It is our 20th major. This is history that you will all witness in front of you. So let me ask you, are you ready? Well, let's bring on our first team, Cloud9. They've come here and they've looked so good. They've defied the odds. They've come in with a unique style and performance. And you cannot forget, there is 4 major champions on this roster, and they are proving all the doubters and all the haters wrong. So let me hear it. It's Cloud9! Their opponents, the previous major champions, but a slightly new look for CS2. But this team, they are always looking for victory. Doesn't matter what team shows up, doesn't matter what player performs. These guys want to go for the back-to-back major championships. But they need to deliver with everyone giving 100%. The question is, will it be V for victory today? This is Vitality! We're looking at our first quarterfinal game. These teams are ready. Boomich, come up here with me. Apex, come on over. The players will take their seat and get ready for this battle. Hobbit, you're here. Hello, Hobbit. How are you?
Very good.
I like the hat. Is this, could you explain it to me?
Yeah, it's like Kazakh traditional hat, yes. It's called takia.
Okay, I like it. You're looking good. Now, the last time you guys were on this stage, right, it was a big moment for you guys to reach in and succeed with this roster. What does it feel like to be here right now?
Yeah, I already said that I'm very happy to be here, to play in this game, in front of this amazing crowd, in front of my family. And yeah, I hope it's going to be a big show.
Now, how much improvement have you seen in your team throughout this major so far? Can you see a difference?
I mean, everyone can see the difference. I mean, it's all about chemistry, and we try to create and adapt our play style for everyone. So, of course, we are improving, not fast like we wanted, but still we are improving.
You guys always want more, you always want to do it fast, but we have seen these improvements. But going up against Vitality, it's not been the easiest of games for you, at least on this stage, but you did beat them at the RMR. How's your confidence right now to take them down where it matters most?
I mean, Vitality is one of the best teams in the world. Of course, it's going to be hard to play versus them every time. And it doesn't matter what form they have, what shape they have, especially on crowd here in front of amazing crowd. It's going to be hard, but still, we believe that we can do further.
Okay, let's see if you can. For you, Apex, you've had success in this arena, but you've also had a few days to prepare, to recover. Is everyone at 100% now?
Yes, we are. We are. Group stage has been pretty rough, not gonna lie, but no, we all at 100% and we'll show that we're a playoff team.
And when you say show you're a playoff team, you were the last team to win inside the Royal Arena. Do you feel like you have what it takes to do it again?
Of course, it's an arena we know, even though we lost also, me and Zaiwu lost a few years ago against Navi here. But yeah, I think we feel good here, and I hope to feel good again.
You got a smile on your face while saying it. Now, if I look at two members of your team in Mezzi and Flames, they don't have that experience here when it comes to the major and being deep in these playoff runs. What did you tell them today to help them get ready? What was that speech looking like?
Well, I will not tell all my secrets, but well, it's just to focus on Counter-Strike and know what we know to do. We played pretty well last year at some tournaments. This year, well, and some of them no. But it's all about us and all about the way we're going to enter the game, and just focusing on CS is going to be enough.
And do you think you learned from your mistakes last time against Cloud9?
Well, that was a remote tournament. It's a lot different. Now it's a big game, so we're going to be way more tension for both teams. So we beat them 3 times last year. Why not the 4th time now?
I like it. A lot of confidence as well. Guys, fist bump, shake hands, whatever you want to do. Copenhagen, the teams are ready. But are you? No. Copenhagen, are you ready? That's more like it. Let's kick it off. Vitality taking on Cloud9.
Yeah, thanks a lot, James. Are you ready for this death segment? We got to bring it now.
I'm ready.
Look, Vitality, we've got to talk about it. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong for them here in Copenhagen. Let's start by talking about Zaiwu. Obviously, the talisman. You know, this incredible player, one of the best rookies we saw until Dong just smashed it out the stratosphere. And he came in sick. And it was very, very hard for him. I mean, at one point he said he was even delirious, you know? It was really, really bad. And thanks to Flames, they were dragged through to this stage. Now, we understand Zaiwu is back. He's healthy again. He's better. And he's got something to prove. Because I would say, I think, arguably his CV in terms of major playoffs, that kind of thing,
yeah.
I think it's not as strong as it should be for a player of his talents.
And I agree with you. What kind of case could I make against that claim when you're looking at a man of his caliber, which is the best player in the last 5 years of the game? He's going to go down in the history of Counter-Strike as the greatest. I am sure of that. But the truth of the matter is, there's only 3 playoffs appearances for a man like him.
Yep.
1 trophy, 2 quarterfinal, and a buttload of disappointments. With different lineups, the fresh Vitality, mostly majors have been complicated. There's moments, there's nice 11th finishes. So now he's in a space where I would argue there's an immense amount of pressure on his shoulder. Because we were all ready to give him a pass for the group stage. It can happen to anybody to be under the weather. It can happen to anybody to have a worse game. But then when you're Zaiwu and the expectations are you're the best player in the world, now is the time where the contrast has to hit. You have to punch in the face the whole crowd here in the Royal Arena to prove that you're back to your level. Now you ask about Vitality, I take the flip side of that conversation. I say they prove to themselves that they have the quality from within to win games when he's on average. That is a strong statement to have, and it's a reminder for everybody, for the Flames and the Spinks of the lineup, that you cannot just sleep on the shoulder of Superman next to you. You need to be ready to make the moves and the difference. They did that in the group stage.
Yeah, they needed the Hive to just rally around the Queen Bee, or rather the King Bee in the case of Vitality. And that's what we saw from Flames. That's what we saw from Spinks. And that is such a good thing to know, that it's not just the one Musketeer. It's all three stepping up and delivering and shouldering the load. But for me, the big question is, Spinks has done it. He's done it in an arena. He's done it in front of a big crowd. Flames hasn't done it yet. And I fear, even if we see ZywOo playing at the level he has in the past, and we know he can do, if Spinks and Flames don't deliver in the fashion they have, it's not going to be easy at all for the defending champions, mind you.
It's been excellent from Spinks so far. We have to put it out there. His work on the CT side has been stellar. I think it's been a work in progress for Vitality to get the best out of him, but we have gotten to that point now. We have gotten to the point where he is one of the 5 best players in the world, and he continues to deliver. You talk about Flames, that's right. Huge X factor moving into this game. We're talking about a young kid when it comes to the stage, fresh, rookie as hell, needing to make the moves, needing to find the entries. Now we're going to have to decide, obviously, where we're going on that one.
Boy.
Listen, they share a whole lot of love when it comes to the maps. I don't think there's going to be any curveball being thrown out. I could be wrong, but I think the map pool is pretty much decided. The bans are relatively obvious. Now Vitality go for the Inferno. It has been a stronghold. It has been a stronghold for them. And if you're Cloud9, do you go for an overpass or a Mirage?
Oh!
Holy hell!
Why have you done that?
They go for Anubis.
There it is.
They pick it when they could have had him as a third map.
Why have they done this?
That is a mistake. I think it's a mistake.
That's a massive
confidence,
mistake.
maybe.
That's a massive mistake. Picking overpass. There is no way in hell Vitality would have banned out Anubis. It was supposed to be Inferno. It was supposed to be overpass getting picked by Cloud9, and Anubis as a decider coming in. They've just been gifted.
Nah, listen, the only way I can look at it is that Cloud9 is ready to call their own numbers on the bad side of the map. That's the only reason I can see, because they would have had to have this conversation on Mirage, which would have been the pick in my eyes. They would have had to start on the T side. Maybe they say, you know what, we don't want to deal with this. We believe in our Anubis. If we go to 3, no matter the half, no matter the side, we can pounce. And Mirage is obviously a little bit of a weakness for Vitality. It's not at the very top. So I almost feel like there is an injunction for Vitality to win 2-0. You have to put them to bed real quick. Don't let it go to Mirage.
Yeah, well, Mirage can get messy. 100% agree with you right there. Look, you can dissect the mindset of Cloud9, trying to throw a bit of a curveball coming in with this Anubis pick, but man, they better have their A game. And when I say A game, I'm talking about Axile. Axile is so instrumental on the CT side. They've been winning that map primarily on the CT side, thanks to Axile just being so much more, playing with so much more energy, so much more fire, so to speak. So if he doesn't step up, this one's a 2 over Vitality, Rich.
Yeah, well, we will see. We will see. Look, guys, so great that we so grateful that we got to do this and talk about it and set the scene for everyone in the arena and at home. But it is now time to introduce you to the people who will be telling this story. I am so honored for the first time in a major to throw it over to Harry and Hugo.
Thank you, Richard. The most stacked playoff bracket in Counter-Strike major history. On one side, Cloud9, looking to show they're the super team we were promised versus the reigning major champs, Vitality, trying to start CS2 off as well as they ended go.
Yeah, and I want to speak to everyone here in the arena right now, showing up on a Thursday afternoon, no less. You're about to witness history. You guys are the beating heart of this arena. You guys are the orchestra that everything is accentuated behind. So Copenhagen, make some noise!
The first round of the CS2 major playoffs in Copenhagen. It's Inferno, it's Anubis, it's Mirage, and it's Cloud9 on the T side by choice. Vitality, they've had ZywOo cold into the elimination stage, the 3rd highest rated player. Right now, this international squad need him more than ever. For Cloud9, it's been a revolving door of entry fraggers. Power from Electronic, from Axel, from Hobbit. Who will step up today?
Well, one thing is for certain, and that's that we're going to get good numbers out of Spinks on this CT side, man. He's been the go-to. He's been the guy to watch. Him and Flames have made up for that gap in firepower from ZywOo's absence. We know that he's been feeling under the weather. We know he's not felt up to it. But he's feeling back in form here, right in time for the playoffs. And it looks like they are going to go walking into ZywOo. You said he had to start strong. And so let's see if he's got it in him. The hit is coming his way. ZywOo is on the boost. Pitch a perfect position for the point man of Vitality, but smoked out, locked out. ZywOo's got to tee up flashes. It's Apex, first point of contact. They move in, and Apex falls immediately. So now ZywOo's got to hold on, but he's waiting for his team to join him. He's waiting for reinforcements, a disaster. He wanted to be involved. He wanted to have some say-so in how this site take goes down. But instead it's Vitality, a man down, slow on the retake here. Past the coffins, Cloud9 aren't giving them a thing. Cloud9 aren't fighting. No kills given over yet, and there's Spinks on the board. Oh, Spinks with another. Surely no more from Spinks. There's so many more players ready to help him. Messi answers back, and it's just perfecto.
Wow. That was a clinical execute from Cloud9, but cowering in the back of the site, Vitality a man down, piece it together. What a start from Spinks. Questions on whether these players can do it on the big stage. Questions for Flames, but Spinks is undeniable. Massive opening round for Vitality. So difficult to get those retakes off. And Hobbit in the pool in a post-plant. Well, we've seen that at a major before. A major win for Hobbit all the way back in Krakow. But Vitality deny that opening round. Captain or not, they take the pistol.
And so this bodes well. I know it's just the pistol underway, but that starts 4v5 for Vitality. They're on the back foot from the get-go. Apex got iced out at the back of the site, even as ZywOo tries to help him with the util.
It's so interesting to see Cloud9 picking T-side coming into this map, right? It's Vitality's pick. The Desk was shocked at the veto. Missing overpass feels like a surprise. Maybe Cloud9 feel like they're being anti-stratted, but they want to come in confident. They want to come in swinging into this quarterfinal. And the T-side is a perfect place to do it. Bomb plant allows a buy. Vitality know it's coming.
So this one is a very serious tone for Vitality. And as you say, they know they're up against the guns here. Apex is undeterred by it, trying to play ahead of the curve down towards Banana.
Banana control has been a huge question in this major. Some teams electing to give it up entirely, just playing flash retake plays, never really fighting for control. Teams like G2 have been fine to send it down, take this space. Vitality opt for the latter for now. Deep Smoke gives them the semblance of control, but Cloud9 playing patient, waiting to take it. Look at the freedom. 4 back to the other side. Let's hope Flames has a re-smoke back at the B site because he's got full Banana and nothing to help him with.
Yeah, in the meantime, Cloud9 are working their way out in the top middle here. But they haven't ever given up on that ambition of the late Banana control. So even as they run into Spinks, when you see him floating around over towards the long side, that just might send you away. And they always wanted to end over here at Banana. Flames is the man lying in wait. He doesn't have that smoke that you touched on earlier. Apex is moving over with it. And so timing is going to be good for Apex here. That smoke is a big problem for Cloud9.
They might not have a choice. They might have to go right through the billowing smoke. Vitality bringing in a rotation at the right second. 25 on the clock as it goes down. And third reinforcement as Cloud9 pounds.
Yeah, no choice but to go through here. They've been countered by the util. They won't get past Spinks in CT either. Flames, he's been a rock here in ZywOo's absence. This guy stepped up. Apex looking to deal the killing blow, but he can just wait. They've got him pinned in into the pit. And perfecto, no clutch today.
That's a clean round for Vitality. That's everything they want it to be. Reassuring. Flames gives it up at just the right time. And they still have 3 as Cloud9 come to the hit. Right now, looking 1D for Cloud9. A team that was plagued with in-game leading problems from the inception of this roster. But Boomich is back, the capable hands of a major winner, 4 of which on Cloud9. And we need him to show that individual prowess along with the leadership if Cloud9 were ever going to take down the reigning major champs.
I mean, that's kind of the tantalizing angle to this Boomich redemption arc, right? Guy got put on blast out there, his whole life spewed out onto the internet, and then had to rebuild back from that point. Not just his brand in the game, but everything. Him as a person had to make a comeback. And he's found a home here in Cloud9. He's called the blinder so far.
I mean,
Cloud9 they fell down once through through their run at the major.
Cloud9 have lost only 1 series on their entire circuit run. That's including the RMR, where they beat Vitality, right? They came through with only an L to Spirit. That's acceptable. This one will be delectable for Vitality. Easy kills on the pistols in middle. It was always meant to be a 3-0. Electronic delaying the inevitable, and Vitality right now building up that CT money as they should. Confident peach from ZywOo and Spinks. He's 4-0. But Cloud9, what have they got coming?
And everyone's been saying ZywOo's back, and this is our real look at it, right? 4-0 to open, and now he gets to don that AWP.
And I love how the devs looked at him, because again, it's major playoffs where ZywOo's not looked as good as he could be, as good as he's shown us even on stages in smaller events. This is where it really matters. At those majors, where you write your legacy, and even though Vitality have one win in their pocket, that's not enough. Not for this team of superstars. So ZywOo, time to show it. In this first gun round, Cloud9 go back to a slow banana control. Bubich opts to go back through the Molotov, not committing on his own. And Vitality play inside of the site. Got this flash set up to give Flames a kill, perhaps. He's going to go. Again, so much respect from these Molotovs. No one want to throw themselves willy-nilly alone into a 1vx fight. The trade of util comes up in favor of Cloud9.
Whoa. Could be punishing, but they get ahead of the double nades.
Cloud9 are way closer than Vitality are ready for.
Well, once again, hitting that kind of 50-second mark as Cloud9 look to go back, grab the bomb, group up over here outside of B, but this time they want to be ahead of the util. They get that smoke out of Apex, and Electronic tries to play his hand through it. But Apex doesn't miss a beat, and when you repel that first man in, Vitality know they've just bought themselves an extra 15, 20 seconds here with that smoke down.
Yeah, it's again looking predictable because Vitality have even read this. They called the bluff. Spinks moving over, not like you need him. This 1-2 setup at the back of the site is perfection. The smoke can land on a Molotov. Cloud9 can't make Vitality uncomfortable.
Flames blinded, the flashes will work for now, and Spinks is overran. They know about this double setup in at the back, and Apex is run down.
That's more like it.
Cloud9 break through a triple defense out of Vitality over towards B. And out of all the ways you could have looked to post your first round on the board, that is a nice way to do it, even though Vitality knew what was going on. Vitality go a man up off of Apex, getting that kill to Electronic. It's not enough to win them the round. So that's a real feel-good moment for Cloud9 as everyone chips in to winning that one for them.
That's what their game plan has been so far, right? Just standard B executor and just trying to entry together. I think Electronic's play is understandable. He feels like he has a timing on that push as the smoke blooms, but Apex holds strong still. Spinks a little discombobulated, pushing before his team are ready to fight, hiding out in smokes. And a fiery round for Cloud9 to start this series. This map was never meant to be theirs, but without their safe pick of Overpass, the question is, can they long out a red-hot Vitality?
I mean, there was a way that you thought this veto was going to go down, and Inferno was always a part of that, right, for the Vitality squad. It was Cloud9 who kind of sidestepped the veto, changed it up with that Anubis in at the second, and will that be a veto that they come to regret? Well, they have some answers for us. This was a safe bet map, so Cloud9 have certainly had time and a chance to prep for this. It feels like their goal is just to keep on abusing B. We've certainly seen two faces of this man on our screens right here over towards these B holds. Over in apartments, Axal, is he ready for Mezzi? He is! Flick back onto him!
Okay.
Mezzi thought he had that dead to rights. And so Cloud9, we saw what they could do 4v5. What do they do now that they've got the advantage?
Oh, now
they take it even further. Apex on a silver platter.
And I love this gamble for Vitality. It's the best they can do in this situation. They just have to hope Cloud9 misread this, overthink this, make a mistake. Cloud9 have the room to send a probe, a lurk. And just given what they've already shown us in this map, this B site has been so tantalizing. So once that bomb's picked up and Electronic makes his claim on Banana, this may just be that triple save for Vitality. Especially when you don't see a smoke blocking you at B. Cloud9 are keeping counts. They know Vitality have two more. But seeing none at this site beckons them in.
It feels like Boomich is calling their bluff in this instance, right? Doesn't believe, because it feels like, you know, what Apex and the Vitality boys want Cloud9 to anticipate here is that they've gone for this gamble, but over towards B. That's where all the rounds have ended. That's where all the rounds have ended for Cloud9. But they don't bite down on that bullet. Instead, it will just be Cloud9 moving into an empty B site and a 3-man save forced from Vitality.
Axile and Electronic both getting their entry kills, right? Axile's was pretty phenomenal on that flick on Apartments, and he has been the biggest question mark in Cloud9 for some time. This guy was, you know, top 5 player in the world, back-to-back. Last year, not even on the rankings, not even relevant. And now, even since Cologne, he's been struggling a lot on LAN, struggling a lot in CS2. He's trying to build back in. But in that elimination stage, he put up his second best LAN performance of his career. So a return to form for Axile at the picture-perfect time for Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the most talked about problems with this Cloud9 squad was the lack of AWPer, and I think when you were looking based on recent performances, Axile was one of the front runners to be in that conversation to get cut from the squad. Feels like he has to play to prove himself. He has to play for his life in these games, and he's delivered across the board here at the major.
Yeah, that's despite a very slow start. We mentioned this in the intro as well, but the depth of firepower on Cloud9 runs so deep. Different players being able to step up at different points in different stages, really. And while Perfecto has remained consistent across both two, every other player has been a little up and down, having a strong start, a slow finish, or vice versa. But if Cloud9 were ever going to upset at Vitality, we need Axile, we need Electronic. The latter of which was a guy who stepped up to defeat this very team on their flawless RMR run to this very major. So put up or shut up for Cloud9 right now. They're answering the call.
Yeah, 2 in a row. Vitality can feel this one really closing up, and that control they once had after winning the pistol, that high they were riding, could get away from them here. There was a timeout called at the end of that last round. Time to talk it over. Apex, a 15-year veteran of Counter-Strike. Let's see what he's cooked up in that timeout.
Finally, ZywOo making a play, or at least attempting to. He's been awfully passive since getting the AWP. I think that's the first time Cloud9 have even seen it. And he's playing an instant rotation as well, swapping out with Apex. Or rather, reinforcing. Grenades grabbed for this B defense. Double pit setup. It leaves the wrap open. Cloud9 won't know that, though. They feel like their read, their calls have been on the money so far. But are they ready for this 1-2 punch?
Apex the man to set them up. Flames playing the close angle, but right now the attention is on this ZywOo AWP. He plays it very mobile in this round. That shot fired over at A, and now he's a part and parcel on this B side. A tour de France for ZywOo. Maybe the tour de force! Double kill from the AWP! And so finally Vitality throw down the gauntlet. They stop this B play in its tracks, but Cloud9 try to adjust, try to get past Spinks down in the pit, and Axile will find him. Gives way to a 2v2, ZywOo in rotation. Apex fast through up Banana, all the way into top mid. ZywOo making noise over at long. Right now, you just need 1 kill in the right direction from Apex, and that would be worth its weight in gold.
Not looking.
No idea. ZywOo has pulled the distraction off. Axile dead. Apex leads the charge. And so now it's Boomich ready for 2 players up through the short side. Boomich rising above this smoke. Just ZywOo left to be, but shot missed. Oh no! Boomich brings it home for Cloud9.
What a disaster! Both guns run dry, and the Glock beats the Deagle. On 4 health, they spammed in through the smoke. They don't stop the captain of Cloud9. Not in this clutch. What a read that they both wrapped round as well. Boomich just gives up long entirely, plays on top of the box, and all set up by stupendous shots from Axile. Cloud9 with that X factor and a 3rd round.
Promising start to the round from ZywOo as well, and when he's got the hot hands like that, it's so hard to put a stop to him. It ends up being super ugly.
What kind of heat on those hands, Harry? Is it fever? 6-1 for ZywOo. The 1 shot miss that matters most. We've only got pistols on this B side right now. And getting absolutely blown to pieces. Forced to concede. Cloud9, a slow, methodical, painstaking T side so far, running these rounds down to the final 30 seconds every time.
And the way that that round ends is a bit of a problem for Vitality and the back and forth mind games of the game, right? Like, they haven't been able to repel these B plays. They finally do it, but then they get execed on into that A site. They come short in the clutch. They're trying again to reel in this top banana control, and they can't do it. Boomich and Perfecto light up the pistols as they attempt to aggro down banana. And Axel taps Wu out of the game. Goodbye.
Axel is not missing a beat right now. What a great time for this guy to keep it going. That elimination stage performance at 1.35 rating. And trying to drag them even further through the quarterfinal. Mezzi, this round's already decided. And not even a lick of damage from Vitality to celebrate.
We said how Cloud9 would have plenty of time to get ready for this map, and it feels like they have. They bought their A game. Mezzi trying to do some damage in at the end. Something, a consolation prize for the round, but not allowed from Boomich. Topping the charts in that round there. Someone who has to rebuild everything about himself to come back in this Cloud9 squad. He's really put his name back on the map as Boomich.
Yeah, we saw him try to get last major right with that one-win squad. He came through 6 months on the team, not even in-game leading, just secondary calling. He looked really good as an individual. He proved his firepower hadn't fallen off, but that's not what you need from him in this team. Despite that, he's doing it. 7-3 on Boomich, while calling the shots and staying on Vitality's toes. Now looking to lap them entirely. Got a rebuy, got an AWP, it's Glass. Armorless on this B-bomb site. And the trade of nades has been a consistent factor. I'd say for the most part, Vitality have won that out. It's not necessarily led to them winning rounds, though.
If anything, that's the even wilder part, right? Oftentimes, it used to be the case, if you were winning that banana util fight, you would go on to win the banana control, but that's not been the story of this game so far.
This is going to be a very early X that can change the pace for Cloud9. They've been going for these slow, long, drawn-out rounds, and even though Vitality take control, if they don't rotate someone back, this could go wrong. Cloud9 re-emerge in the banana, but they're ready to hit that other side. Ball blocks smoke. That's a big move for Spinks. And Electronic begs them to push in.
Sawu posted, but they don't know about Electronic. Just spotted, but not found. Flames at least comes up with a response. Hobbit now sees they block this smoke over at long. The bomb is on the back of Perfecto, waiting at Banana. So the route through CT is the best bet in for Cloud9. Axel puts the hurt on. Boomich caught in rotation. That bomb is now coming back. Hobbit transitions into having to cut down these players in rotation. And Hobbit will do exactly that. Just Mezzi left. And that bomb could go anywhere. That bomb is going B. Mezzi gets dodged, and Axel don't want to be in the path of this guy right now. He is a force of nature.
Force to be reckoned with. Hitting every headshot, every flick. Every opener right now that Cloud9 need, getting kills on both bomb sites. Vitality feeling the burn on their map pick, their home safe map. The map they took Cloud9 down on last time. Right now, an empty CT side once we've hit rifle rounds. Cloud9 in full control. Backup banana. I mean, these anti-ecos have been a wash. Nothing of note. Nice grenades either way. And again, a triple setup, but that re-smoke again buys time. I think Vitality have had so many B stacks as well in this map. Cloud9 have defeated every single one. His Flame's ahead of it.
Yeah, he's looking to activate it, but Electronics just not today. They flash him through the smoke. Flame's just looking for those few kills that bring him back into the game. But Electronic, he spams, he wins, and so he just keeps going back for it.
There's a time to call it off. 2 lone players for Cloud9. let your high health players entry now and keep this round as clean as can be. Keep that boot to the neck. Spinks, can he save them yet again?
He's been the consistency. He's been the guy for Vitality to keep their dream of getting to this position alive in spite of ZywOo's absence. And so Spinks trying to get us all believing. 1 kill on the Deagle already. ZywOo offering up assistance with the flashbang, but Spinks is going to go above and beyond, chases the kills at Banana, but can't get away with it. ZywOo smoked off now. This one's coming out of the final few seconds. Spam on the smoke. It's close. Bomb plot denied. ZywOo's trying to steal the round away. ZywOo's trying to do it solo, but Perfecto just dodges capture. And so it's another one of these clutches for Mezzi. Another clutch that might just slip through the fingers of Vitality. Cloud9, it keeps shutting them down. And since that pistol, since the anti-ecos, Vitality haven't found a thing.
And it's not even close. Losing unwinnable clutches. Cloud9 keep this colossal T-side building. 2 timeouts used already for the Vitality squad. We're not even through that first half. There was a chance, a glimmer of hope on that bomb denial. A perfect reposition. And even Axel turning from that Deagle push of Spinks makes it very hard to hit the helmet. No clean kills, only damage. This has got to be it. We've got to see Vitality make a move, make a play, get ZywOo involved. They tried that mid boost earlier on. Cloud9 haven't touched the orb. Why not? This is the best map to avoid it on that T side.
Even this stat line right here is a huge problem, right? We said how consistent Spinks has found himself, how he's kind of been the backbone of this Vitality run through the majors so far. Well, currently Axel, half of his kills are on Spinks, half of his kills are shut down one man. Through the smoke, they're sacrificed to flames. But that's going to trigger a bit of a response out of Cloud9. Fast rotate away from B.
Into who, you ask? Into the Woo.
This has got to be his moment. This has got to be his time. Right place, right time for it. ZywOo finds one on the AWP. Cloud9 still look undeterred. They want to follow through with this. Great off angle for Spinks.
Won't be clearing this first. ZywOo coming to them. Ooh. Spinks is going to crunch at the same time. That smoke up does nothing to deny the inevitable Vitality 5v2. Slaughter Cloud9. Axel can't save them here, surely. This one is too far gone.
Finally shutting Axel down. You can see he's feeling it, man. The snappy aim back to long, but can't expect him to offer up anything in that moment. 11 points of health, 1v3. His team churned up over in mid. And that's a nice turning point for Vitality. They finally shut down one of these rounds where, even though they find the opener, that's not been safe in the past. I think that's one of Boomic's great qualities, actually, is he's so good at having solutions and contingency plans in place. So even if they don't win that first fight, there's always more to go off of. We even saw him doing that back in the old Na'Vi. Now he's doing it here in Cloud9.
Yeah, remember, it's not just 4 major winners for Cloud9. It's a core of a major winning squad. All those years ago in Stockholm, we're not far from it now. Cloud9 trying to right their wrongs. Can Vitality build off of a single round in the midst of nowhere? Apex 1 for 1, there's still flames to help. And he has been solid at giving up, going back to this B bomb site, not overextending. So again, the call must be made for Cloud9. I don't know about this stack right now. It's that dice roll to avoid it. Hit the nail on the head every time before. Can they knock that nail into the coffin of Vitality? Oh, huge play.
Re-aggro back in a mid. I mean, this was how they found the success last round, right? That decision to group and fight for the top mid control, and this time, they've hit the golden window. Spinks in with the backstab, and right now no one's looking. Spinks has got the round on a platter right here, takes out that first man and then disappears. A ghostly apparition.
There's no time to chase this kill, unless they want to save. for the final round of the half, but Cloud9 have almost unlimited money. They need to go, they need to commit into the site, into Flames.
Flames is still want to get past, but Vitality have left him here all alone. They were rotating over, but something called it off, and so for now, Flames is in this all alone, playing it down to the wire. Hobbit needs to chase this bomb plant. He's not going for the plant. The round gets away from them. The time gets away from them. That is a wild way to have given up this round, and then they do that.
It doesn't even matter. Not really. It's a calamity for Cloud9, trying to clear everything. They don't have time for that.
They just don't believe they've been given the site for free. They don't believe it. They don't buy.
It's a perfect call for Vitality. 4v2, they can play the retake. They've already shown they can do it man down. Why not 2 men up? Use that util, go in as a unit rather than offer up Cloud9 a kill. That was a really nice call, but Cloud9 definitely cooked the books. Beyond belief on the B site. And Groove has got to calm them down right now. Cloud9's first time out in this map.
That's a sign of a few nerves, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was Hobbit, not the man you would expect those, to get to him. Picked up a major, 7 years ago?
Yeah. Most experienced player on this team. Having a world-beating performance at this very major. On a map, he took his trophy. Rare to see, but Cloud9, it's all about how you brush it off and keep going.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing for them here, right? They were very much in control on this T side. They felt unbeatable. They were countering everything Vitality were doing, and now that's all kind of been called into question, even the pause. It's letting Vitality know they're building back into this one. And so can Vitality tie it up on the half? They didn't put up a single rifle round since they found success in the pistol until just a couple ago. But now they're streaking them together.
Still have like this pace of Cloud9, but it looks like they want to make plays earlier for a change. Trying to change their tune and their timing. They know where ZywOo sits. Bearing down on the angle. And even Spinks moving in, a risky reposition. This is a mollyable spot. Cloud9 about to come through.
Dodges the flash, Spinks, good position, double up, and that rotate in from ZywOo's orb. That could have been the killing blow in this round, but the shot just sails past Electronic. And so Cloud9 is still very much in this one. ZywOo and Mezzi to get past, but that smoke makes life a little more awkward. Mezzi holds the close angle. ZywOo watches on from afar on that AWP, but this has got to be some combat AWPing from ZywOo. Shots rally through the smoke, but nothing connects yet. Right now, Cloud9 don't feel safe to plant that bomb, and this is wasting precious time. Another miss from that AWP, but third time's the charm. And Flames gets there in time. Vitality embark on a streak to tie up this game heading into the second half.
Yeah, they wake up, they roll out of bed just in time to give us something on this CT side. It's not bad, especially considering how it started. But there were those shaky moments, and no denying we've had Cloud9 players come to play in this must-win matchup, this opening playoff game for this first CS2 major. We want it competitive, that's what we're getting. And now we swap sides. That eternal question of the Cloud9 AWP on CT half. I wonder if it will come through. If so, who's donning it? It's been a map-dependent play. Boomich more often than not, but we've even seen Perfecto Hobbit take it at times. ZywOo's not looking like a world beater, but he's doing just enough.
Certainly room for this to be a pacier start, and I mean, they've given ZywOo that P250. They want to bring him into the game. Spinks is holding up his side of the bargain, and he has been across that entire first half. So now you want to get ZywOo switched on. Apex lurking over towards the top of Banana. Util is dodged. They managed to get away from it. Oh, and Hobbit! Bids adieu to Apex. He's now knocked out of play. That leaves Vitality with only ground to cover left at this A side of the map. They've got to get past Axar and Electronic in a crossfire. They deal with the first. Axar tries to retreat but can't. It's now Now there's room for the bomb. There's ZywOo arriving. Clean tap, and so past Apex falling early. Everyone else from Vitality answers the call.
I mean, Cloud9 knew exactly what was going on. Even after that entry kill, it still didn't save them. It's like the first pistol all over again. Not the quickest clicking for Electronic on those dualies, I'll say. Feels like he could have gotten a lot more out of that crossfire with Axel on the balcony. But Cloud9 have got to do this map in with no pistols to their name. And surely they don't force here. That would be frantic. High risk, high reward, but not high rollers are Cloud9.
See Apex at the conclusion of that round just explode, trying to get everyone hyped up on his team. You know, one of the reasons why he kind of shied away from leadership early on, one of the reasons he's been criticized is he is a very emotional player. But it's interesting to watch how he's tried to channel those emotions into something a little more positive here. Trying to have that pass across to everyone on the team. Now, they are walking in to the pistol stack right now, but that bomb is nowhere to be found. Apex has even played with the timings here on a smoke push. They shouldn't know.
That's unbelievable. I feel like Cloud9 almost have an inkling, but they're going to find out the hard way. All 5 in the site. Apex here to send him a message.
Oh, yeah, he knows. Apex knows. This one's his. And the rest of the pistols get cut down. Cleanly done from Vitality. They walk into the stack, and Apex lives to tell the tale.
Don't know how he walks past 2 players in CT there inside of that smoke, but he'll take it. Hornets will too. As Vitality continue to buzz forwards.
Is the thing, this was almost identical to how that first half started. We can't get ahead of ourselves, right? Vitality found success off the back of the pistol. They stuck the landing on the conversions as well. Things were looking good, but you saw that bite back from Cloud9.
Even though Boomich had great calls, you know, nice late XX and was avoiding the stacks, right? Apex, he led his team to a major win. He threw off his entry fragging shackles, and it was only when he truly did and learned to not necessarily be that opening man for the team that Vitality took trophies. You know they have their eyes set on another one. Early exec, but Mac-10, Galil, call it a bonus round. Vitality can throw themselves around these corners. They can throw some punches. Hobbit takes all of Banana, and that's a good timing. Frees up Electronic. Similar start to that first half, but in come Vitality.
Axel's about to have a lot of fights here, and with the form he's been in, that's scary. Boomich trying to draw a distraction. Axel dead. Boomich has got to be more than just a distraction. 2 kills from him in the site. But that shouldn't be enough to pull Cloud9 back into this retake. They're so far removed. If they find Mezzi in mid, maybe, but Hobbit goes no further. And so this round is written off. This round is given to Vitality. Hard earned on the back of that Spinks double up.
Hobbit's still rooting pretty aggressively here. He wants to take something with him. Vitality can save on the CT side. And it seems like they realize that as well. No gap, no casualties, and 9 rounds now. This is where Vitality really should take the reins of this game and start running away. Slow to start, strong to finish. And finishing is all that matters.
I think it's very much worth noticing that this is the exact, firepower trio that you would want rising to the occasion right now for Vitality. I know ZywOo hasn't given us any sort of crazy ZywOo moment yet, but even then he sits second on the board, right behind Spinks, top in the charts. Flames, who went from having a bit of a slower start here, has quickly risen up the board. And it was Flames and Spinks who kept Vitality competitive throughout the elimination stage, kept them from dodging death. Hobbit secures an opening blow on a ZywOo, and that's quite the kill to have found.
That being said, it's not felt like 5v4s have mattered a huge amount in this map. We've had a lot of teams winning from a man down early. Both sides have done it. Still, despite that fact, Cloud9 are down to 2 smokes and 2 guns. Got to be very careful. Nice boost on this B site. But they won't commit. The round lives and dies on a play like that. And these pistols sit on the other site. Cloud9 may be dropping smokes, but they are begging for Vitality to commit to B. And they may get their wish. Only 2 here. Progress getting made on the other side of the map. When will Flame strike?
This is very split up for Vitality. And up against the Pistols, that does make you nervous. They've got a backup plan here. They can go and rejoin these players over towards A.
Is Boomich going to save them once again?
Well, in doing so, they've dodged the stack. This whole duo of Electronic and Boomich still stand between them and getting that bomb down inside of A. Boomich falling off into the pit. Electronic moving in to help him. He is in the site now, ready to go. Electronic with the first. Boomich finds another. The Pistols are pulling it back. Electronic won't go down without a fight. And Perfecto moves in. Cloud9, couple of Famuses, couple of Pistols. And they lock Vitality out of the round.
Yeah, forget the dualies. That 5-7 hits harder for Electronic. Fantastic work, buying as much time as possible for Perfecto to come swinging in through. And Cloud9 with those 3 smokes at the B side, stall it just enough to force their hand. Robbed round. But they can't celebrate too soon. This game has just begun. ZywOo's AWP matches up against Boomich.
I mean, as wild a statement as it is, the last time these teams played, Boomich did have more AWP kills. He did find a lot of success on that AWP.
Yeah, and even in the BO3, there were almost no head-to-heads. It was 2-2. They barely clashed, and I think that's fair. Boomich knows he's not as good as ZywOo on the AWP. He said it himself, even after 3-0 in the elimination stage. He said he didn't think he could be a stable AWPer. Cloud9 have done it regardless. He's had some great games. He's hit some fantastic shots, but he is no match for his counterpart here. So can he thin the herd? Pick off this rifling pack of Vitality. A red-hot Sphinx. A fiery Flames, perhaps. Well, not in this round. They're going back to B. Being said, Boomich's patience may pay off back in the library. There's no motive smoke.
That's going to leave sightlines open for this Boomich AWP. They've seen the barrel, they know he's there, but that just draws the crosshairs away from the true masters of this site. It's Axile and Electronic in the crossfire, and this crossfire has been destroying Vitality. They've not been able to deal with it.
Run.
And ZywOo can't either. Trying to run for the hills. Axile chases him down. And Cloud9, after winning with pistols, after pulling the game back, they're right back in this one.
Yeah, this would be a disastrous game for Vitality to lose if you consider the context of 3-0 at the start of the first half, 2-0 at the start of the second, Cloud9 winning with just a little bit. Vitality barely sit comfortably in this map. Their map right now, they are only a round up. And that is another clean, concise round for Cloud9.
They got so tunnel visioned on that AWP, it felt like everyone running up 3 short was all looking at Boomich. And if you're going to give Axile and Electronic that much room, you are asking for trouble. Hobbit highlighting that smoke hit him. But it's not a disaster. He's going to have this angle over the top of it. Only pistols for Vitality. And even though you saw one of these come up in favor of Cloud9, this is far harder for the Vitality squad. Up at the top, if they go that smoke, they might just look to go through it here. And at the perfect time too, because Boomich is just up and left. So right now it's only Axel to bear down on top middle. There's Spinx's Deeg delivering. Boomich is tagged up. Narrowly gets away. Narrowly makes it back into the side, but run down. And ZywOo's now got his hands on that AWP.
Where did this come from? This was a done deal, dead in the water. Vitality now in a perfect position to close the round. Can Hobbits long rotation win? No. ZywOo hits his flick. Tuned into the ZywOo show just in time. And Perfecto faced with the impossible. Damage is his duty, nothing more. Just wants to stop this ZywOo save. And Armorless, they got to run it out.
They're coming his way. They're playing right into his hands. They get out with the kill. Vitality. That is a defining round in this game. They had no reason to win that. And sure, ZywOo, fantastic job once he gets that AWP, but that's what you expect out of him. That's what he's here for. Spinx, I think, is the big hero of the round. To stop Axel in his tracks as he's 2 kills midway through, shutting down that play in top mid. Spinx turns around with the Deagle and does that. And then the Glocks are the thing to bring it home. That one is going to leave a mark if you're Cloud9. Those rounds do not come along often. Vitality, this is the time to capitalize. This is the time to shut Cloud9 down. If they win this one, the money gone for the Cloud9 squad. And so this is Vitality's chance to tee themselves up for the recovery on their map pick of Inferno.
Slow and steady. Apex corrals his troops. ZywOo goes back for the bomb. Vitality been playing 2-2 for the majority of this T side. So uncertain for Cloud9 where that end execute is coming in. So little info, so much info on both sides of the map. It's a smoke screen. It's a fast for Vitality. Right now, Cloud9 seem to have made the right move. Is this only a reinforcement for utility, or will Electronic hang around? If he does, Cloud9 might have found the right positions at the perfect point. Boost comes up, couldn't be better. Do Vitality have the smoke for us? It doesn't look like they do.
They have to find this success, or else Spinx will never get a chance to play the round. Hobbit dead, traded after one. It's ZywOo's on with the reply. Damage done, but ZywOo delivers in the smoke. Electronic is hidden. Electronic is trying to make the round-winning play. Oh, so little time left. Electronic, this could be his moment, but Apex puts a stop to it. And so Vitality, a must-win round. On the back of finding success of the Pistols, they walk into the 3-man stack, and Electronic tries to make the play to stop them. But he can't do it. And since that pistol round, ZywOo now back-to-back multi-kills, starting to find his form on that AWP.
That T-side orb has been more impactful than the CT orb. That's not what you say on Inferno every day. But that's a crucial second entry kill into the B-bomb site to break open the stack, and even Electronic's position shrouded in the smoke is not enough. Disastrous round for Cloud9 to lose. It does feel like it's slipping through their fingers, and losing to Ecos has consequences. Cloud9 will learn that now.
You live by the eco round, you die by the eco round. Cloud9 found one of their own. But Vitality's carried so much more impact, and here are the kills that ZywOo was able to bring to the table here. Timeout called for Cloud9. They might not have many more chances to recover this game. Groove getting involved.
Must feel helpless at times for Groove, right? Some say he led this old Cloud9 ex-Gambit squad to the #1 spot, cooling in that online era. Now, having to concede that role, it's out of his hands. Firmly in Boomich's, but sweaty palms right now as this map slips through Cloud9's fingers.
The whole team always swore by him, though. They always swore that he was, in their eyes, an award-winning coach. And so let's see if he's given them a solution here.
I mean, what can you do with this kind of buy, right? You can set up your rifle, you can hope for the best, but Vitality decide where this round ends, and they look to end it early, taking apartments very quick. A weak defense on this side of the map. Cloud9 with this boost over the CT smoke. The whole round relies on it. It may not even play a part. Yet again, Apex moves those pieces into place on this board. One by one, the Rooks move in. It's Vitality set up to pounce.
Думаете and Electronic, they were the two of the pistols that robbed this last time, but no such luck this time around. It's quick trade work out of Vitality.
Clinical.
And they can feel that this...
It's too good to be true.
This one is a lock-in. They are safely away with map point. That's going to give them 4 chances, 4 opportunities to close out this map.
It always felt like it was meant to be, right? This series, we hoped would go 3. Anubis is the question mark, even though Cloud9 have won it before, going for the pick into a strong map for their opponent as well. But this was always meant to be Vitality starting strong. It just came with that question mark, that caveat of winning both pistols, but still being in the losing place. Vitality had to come back off of that T-side eco win. And now they've shut this Cloud9 out of the server. Axel, silent CT side after starting so strong.
Feel good moment for Spinks as well, who's been a bit of a rock for Vitality. He was getting shut down by Axel early on, but since getting into this second half, guys come into his own. Him, Zaiwu, and Flames, that triple threat of firepower on Vitality, a terrifying trio when they are all in form, and they are all in form right now.
When it matters. That's what Apex said on the stage right before this game. This is a big match. This is where it counts. You can lose in the qualification, but there's no second chances on the stage. Vitality stepping up to the plate, looking to end this map. Hobbit, a decision to make. That Molotov is too much. He won't bear the brunt of it. Cloud9 have 3 strong, and Apex is already wounded.
His teammates have left him here, but that swing is crazy. Gives over the first pick to Boomic's AWP. Second time bringing it out. First time finding a great deal of success. An early 5v4 is good. Apex now, hands off the mouse and keyboard. But he can still have his impact. He can still call away to a round win.
Do they read the rotate? It seems like they do. You don't want to keep 3 at B forever. Still so much of the map open. Cloud9 playing towards the extremities, back pit side, library side. They don't have that mid info. They don't know where Vitality are grouped.
It's been this crossfire between pit and site that won Cloud9 so many rounds on their CT side, and it might be in that position where it's got to do it again, because with Perfecto falling over at long, a big chasm, a big hole has just opened up on this A-bomb site. Electronic now got to have eyes in the back of his head as they make their way out around long. Electronic is all that stands between Vitality and this map win. They move in with the bomb. A 3v2 in the post plant, one where Cloud9, their positions are being considered. Spinks waiting in the apartments. Hobbit, timing is everything here. As he swings this, Spinks picks it up. Zaiwu to close, and the stars are here for Vitality. There is no doubt about it. ZywOo, recovery arc in the second half of that game, found a lot of impact on the T side with his AWP. Spinks is a rock, and Flames is in form. Cloud9, will they regret that Anubis pick?
Go, my jump shot, 3, 2, 1. Rush to one speed, let's go sides. Rush to one speed, let's go. 3, 2, 1. I think, headshot, then, one up. Let's go, get it. Go, let's fight together. 3, 2, 1.
Quickly. Shoot it. The world is changing, but one thing remains the same. Victories with 1xBet.
Level up your gaming space with metal posters from Displate. Hang your displays in seconds. Swap them whenever you like. Get official art from your favorite games on a uniquely designed metal canvas and choose from thousands of posters. Join over 3 million collectors now. Your wall upgrade is here. Shop now at Displate.com.
Winning both pistols set them up in a most favorable way possible. I think they definitely needed that second one to get the energy flowing. We could all sense that they were falling into this full rhythm in the first half where Cloud9 put them to sleep. It was very lackluster from Vitality. I'll just put it up there as well. It took ZywOo 18 rounds to start playing, but goddamn, it feels good when he shows up. That round with the Glock into the lightning fast Kenny has like 8 repeat shot. The round after that, that's what you needed from him. And kudos to Spinks, kudos to Flames, because they were the one carrying that engine up until the moment he rose from the dead, almost from the dead.
I'm going to temper the the emotions a little bit here, you know, having no real emotional attachment to either of these two teams. But I felt that was a pretty messy game overall, right? In all honesty, there were moments where it looked really good. Like, I have to agree, like Vitality winning both the pistol rounds and converting them as well really set them up really well. But then look at the first half, and there were so many rounds. I'm looking at the money on the side of Cloud9. It was like the Bank of Abu Dhabi. They were out of control. So much money, seeming just toying around with the rotations from the side of Vitality. And even the second half, I look at round number 15, I believe it was a 16, beg your pardon, where Vitality just a sloppy take towards a short position towards A, getting taken out by like a couple of safe the masses, a couple of pistols, and right there I feel like this one's done, this one's over. Axel was having a lights out game as well. It's going to be Cloud9 stealing this away, and then we have Disaster strike that one round with the Glocks and the one Deagle. What they just got caught with their pants down and just tripped over it, Richard.
Yeah, and look, you did say this at the start, Matteo. You said that the other guys on Vitality, sometimes, you know, Ziwu might have a slow start, or sometimes he's, you know, not going to be able to put in a Superman-like performance. You have to come along for the ride and help out. And it's like you say, they gave Ziwu time to get into this series.
Yeah, and he needed that because, honestly, his attitude in the beginning of the game was the right one. I think he was looking for the peaks. He was looking to make the difference. He was having a couple of moves with the AWP. But you just have to face the truth. He missed. He missed a couple of times.
Some whiffs.
He was putting in positions, and the shots that he normally connects, yeah, maybe he needed a couple of rounds. In fact, again, 15 plus to align, but once he did, that was it. But this man out on the screen, I think he deserves a huge shout out. You're talking about a CT side that was a little bit out of sorts from Vitality. The first multi-kills that come out, that is Spinks. He's the one that stabilizes. He's the one that closes the A side, sends Cloud9 back to B again and again and again. So Spinks, currently behaving like an MVP within this roster, has another strong case to his name, putting him on the shoulders, and I will attach a little bit of love to Flames as well, because I think the entries we saw on the T side is exactly what you wanted him for. You had that job interview, and you said, listen, at the very top of the task, I'm going to need you to provide a couple of entries. I'm going to need you to channel the wildness that you have in you, swing wide, get me an entry, and as we can see, he did that a couple times as well in the second half.
And look at the kills he's getting on the CD side as well. Listen, playing the rotation player, playing towards Arch, pretty much isolated by your lonesome, you know, alone as a rifler is not an easy task at all, and he was absolutely tested by Cloud9. You can see the streak of rounds Cloud9 went on when it was 6-3. I was starting to worry a bit. I was starting to worry about, you know, about Maniac's heart beat as well. He was just getting shook. But then the final 3 rounds, I think it was absolutely imperative that they won those rounds, and 100% agree with you. Flames, he stood to the task. I had my doubts in the arena, in front of the crowd. Can he, you know, just channel that group stage energy? He did so.
I mean, listen, we're here at the playoff of a major, and we know there are rounds who dictate the destiny of a game. That's what it goes on with big games, and I think round 18 qualifies. It's an absolute catastrophe for Cloud9, and it's the moment where Vitality just pick up the absolute pace. We see here the crossing of the smoke. There's a good spray from Exile, immediate punishment for Spinks, and then here, Cloud9, a little bit exposed in how they lose control of the rotation as well. You see Flames being able to go out of apps, find a shot. By the way, Zywoo destroys Boomage, and he right now, that's a flashback. I guarantee you, when he hit that shot, I knew he was back. There's no way around it. When you hit that flick, that's all you needed. The next round, 19, he goes on to have a multi-kill opening the B side, and this is the Zywoo I was absolutely pulling my hair off to see at the beginning of the map. Showed up from this moment on. That's what Vitality needed.
It's such a tragedy for Cloud9 because there were no flashes. They just waited in the smoke for a few seconds, ran on out. Axel caught kind of on an island, so to speak, by himself towards short.
He gets 2.
He does his job. He gets 2. Spinks with a blind for a 180 deagle shot, and Boomage is so out of position. He gets instant dinked. By the way, they all have head armor as well. Instant dinked by the Glock. He gets chased down into the bomb site. But Electronic, what was he doing in pit? He needed at least 1 kill. You know what happens to him? He dies. I don't know how he dies.
He gets from Flames. That's a timing. Flames got him completely blindsided. So Electronic is probably being called by Boomage. They're swinging long. He loses track of apps, turns too long, and that's Flimsy coming in. That's Counter-Strike.
But the panic right there setting in, and from then on, it was just dunzo right there for Cloud9. Unfortunate way to kind of, considering they seem like they're about to pull this one back, to lose in that fashion, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, and a real shame because Cloud9 obviously were in the game, and from being in the game to being in the crowd, Parley, you're talking to people out there, aren't you?
Richard, I absolutely am. We've got some heroic boys in the building. Can I ask the extended audience, do we have any Danish Counter-Strike fans in the building? Boys, what are your names?
Oh, Nicholas.
Nicholas?
Krugs.
Krugs?
Yuppie.
Yuppie.
And Jojo.
And Giorgio. Guys, how are you doing? Are you enjoying this first matchup between C9 and Vitality?
Heck yeah! Yeah, it's a good fucking Counter-Strike. I like that it's competitive. I mean, obviously Heroic didn't make it, so I'm here just to watch some good fucking Counter-Strike. I am rooting for Vitality though, but I mean, I like what I'm saying. Any Vitality fans?
I thought there were some Vitality fans in this arena! Final thoughts for the gentleman on my left. Do you think Cloud9 are going to bounce back, or have Vitality got this in two?
Actually, the matchup is just so close. I have no fucking idea, to be honest. I've seen such great Counter-Strike. I don't know if that's PG, but I've legit got a boner.
Right, okay. With that being said, I think it's time to head back to the desk. Can I hear you make some noise?
Yeah. Good news is I don't. Right, let's. Look, it's live showbiz, guys. So I apologize for the language, but whatever. We've let a few slip ourselves, haven't we, back in the day? But something that will not slip from your wall is our sponsor, Displate. Obviously been sponsoring us here for the major. This time the iconic map of Dust 2.
That one is long gone.
Yeah, well, listen, I miss it. I actually miss Dust 2. I don't feel it's Counter-Strike without an active version of Dust 2 in the map.
I mean, it's the most famous map in all of video games, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously you can go to displate.com and use the code PGL. And now, because they love you so much, they've increased the discount. So if you get 2 Displates, you get a 30% discount. But if you go 3 or more, you get 36% off. Super easy to mount, look great on a wall. You can even see they got ones for the new pins everyone's been asking about down there. So we're going to put that to one side. No more talk about Dust 2. Time to talk about Anubis. Guys, there was visceral disgust coming out of you. Like, you made some awful noises when you saw the Anubis pit.
I would say disgust, right? It's more a surprise, because I feel like it's a map where Vitality would kind of shake hands, but all right, let's make it a decider, so to speak. So they bring it out early, but there is no margin for error right now for Cloud9.
I mean, listen, the recent history is Cloud9 teaching Vitality the lessons on Anubis. That's what happened in the RMR.
And I think
there is no way around it. They absolutely, completely destroyed them on Anubis at the RMR. So if it is a Cloud9 that maybe got blinded a little bit by, hubris is a word you love to use that during the major as well. Is that the case? Overall, Cloud9 absolutely took them for a spin. Good example here, that was against G2.
And this is a different Cloud9, by the way, and this is Axel. Axel being activated on the CT side. This is where we're starting to see the Axel of old. Someone willing to take duels, not playing it too safe, being aggressive. We have another round here. This, of course, overpassed the map that we kind of expect them to go for. We can see this against Navi, where they absolutely dismantled them on the CT side. A lot of this recent success that Cloud9 have been predicated off the fact that Axel seems to be finally playing with a little bit of confidence. And we saw that here in map number 1 as well on Inferno. And if they take Anubis, it's going to come down to Axel being the same that we've seen from him here on the CT sides especially.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of duels probably happening between Mezzi and Axile towards the A side, towards that A main.
Yep.
And I think for Vitality early on, you're going to have to establish dominance over that area. You cannot just send a measly Mezzi with 1 flash. No, I would like them to put numbers there. Like put 2 or 3 players. Make sure that if Axile is taking the kind of risk we're talking about, just slap them in the face immediately. The Vitality that played Cena on Anubis was tasteless at the armor. It was tasteless, really. The rhythm was wrong. The executes were poor. Zai would try to cross the smoke in cave a couple times. Hobbit had the easiest kills of his life. So I want them to be way more decisive in where they decide to strike. Don't be loose. They also gave away a couple of power plays, 4v3s and all. So if lessons have been learned, we might be looking at a different game, but that's a big if.
That was going to be my next question. What must the change-up have been if they're this confident to sort of pick it? Because there's other maps. You said in this segment, they should have gone here, they could have gone there, they could have left it in. There was no need to pick it at all. It might have come up.
I feel the Cloud9 we saw when they beat Vitality a month ago in the RMR on this map, they're actually better right now. I feel they're playing even better on this map right now, in all honesty. I'm looking at Axel, I'm looking at the way him and alongside Electronic are just kind of moving around like a Hydra, so to speak, towards the mid and, of course, A-main position. But I disagree with me if you want to, Matthew, but I feel like watching...
How dare you?
Okay, all right, you're getting feisty there. This might be Boom's best map with the AWP.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's a fair point. I have no problem with that statement.
And he's everywhere. He's going to be solo holding towards
that. We agree on that point.
We agree on that. Cool,
right
fair enough. That's great. Especially when I have Zai with a server. You know, I don't know which map I'm getting, but I'm watching Axel Electronic towards mid. I'm watching Boomich towards the A-main position. They switch things around. They mix things a lot. So I feel a potential weakness here. Not that they've shown much of it, but a potential chink in the armor for the side of Cloud9 or CT. It's at B bomb side. I want to see a little bit more pressure being applied there by Vitality, because if they go A towards mid, I feel the task is too much.
Yeah, and look, I just want to talk a little bit about Boomich. You know, he is someone who is a playoff specialist. You know, he's managed to find ways to get teams that, on paper, they don't look great. And he's done it with Quantum Bellator Fire. He's done it with Windstrike. You know, he actually, low-key, has got all this experience in masterminding ways to get through. And obviously did it at the expense of his former org as well, to even be here right now. And is kind of slept on. So is there something that we could be missing here? Because, as you said, this is the map where he can AWP effectively.
Well, if anything, what he's accomplishing with Cloud9 is what deserves the most, I think, praises for Boomich's career. You look at QB Fire, it was a different setup. He was more of a fragging crazy animal out there. You're talking about his win strike time, also different. He came on to Na'Vi. First, he was obviously on par with Zeus as a player, then they gave him the reins. The issue is, when you have Simple and Electronic on your team, nobody's going to give you the time of day if you win. No one is going to take a minute to applaud you as a leader when you win with Simple and Electronic. Yep. But the fact is, he came into a dysfunctional Cloud9. He came in to solve profound issues that were happening within this roster. Issues that are still yet to be sort of solutioned, if you will, solved, right? There's no AWPer. The man says, you know what, actually, I'll do it. Fine, I'll be the leader. I'll be the sniper. I'll make toast for you. I'll pick your ties if I have to. I'll do everything I got to. So if at this point you're not paying attention to him, surely you're missing something.
He's getting it done no matter what, right? And I love this entire little love to hate, this entire AWP roulette they have going as well. On one map, you have the Perfecto. Here we go. Here's the AWP. Some other times, a Hobbit, your turn to AWP. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I hate all of it.
I hate all of it. I absolutely disgusts me. But they still get it done, Rich. Yeah. And that is why when I feel like we need to give a flowers to him, especially after Antwerp, where was he? He disappeared from the team, disappeared from Tier 1 Counter-Strike. He was in the wilderness, is floating around. And when a call came for him to answer, he delivered. So you can't take anything away from it. And yes, I think we've all been a little surprised with Anubis pick coming in, but they have shown that they have what it takes to be one of the best in the world out there.
Sure, and obviously Vitality no slouches on the map. That is the big cause of the consternation with this pick. So Vitality warming up, knowing they've got that extra map advantage. I mean, it's like you said, Matthew, this conceivably could be a 2-0. This is a gamble by Cloud9.
I agree, and I do think the 2-0 is still a necessity for Vitality. I still don't think that they are currently stable and strong enough to withstand the loss of Anubis and then moving on to a Mirage, which is a very murky territory for them, a map where they're looking for reference wins for quite a while now. So you have an opportunity now. If you're Vitality, you've been granted a pass for an Inferno that wasn't exactly the highest level, but you got the pistol rounds going, and you had your crazy round at the end, and you push it over the finish line. That's fine. You have to strike right now when the iron is hot. You have to get on that action. You have to get to the 2-0.
Oh, absolutely. And especially considering the last time they won, they beat Complexity on this map, and it was Flames having to put up a monstrous performance. So, yeah, this is now or never for Vitality.
Yeah, now or never indeed. So we got like about 25 seconds before we get in. I haven't asked anyone for any predictions, but since this match is so personally invested, are Vitality doing this one?
Yeah, they do. 2-0 Vitality.
2-0 Vitality. He's a believer. Anyway, guys, as always, loads of fun on the desk. The crowd getting settled back into their seats. But they're going to be standing up because now I'm about to throw you over to Harry and Hugo to bring this one to life.
A map in the pocket for Vitality, but Cloud9's big gamble of Anubis, a map that they are undefeated on in the major circuit, from the RMR to the major itself. They've got faith in their pool, but do they have faith in themselves? Because they're going to need it here.
That's a huge question. Vitality's no sleeper either, right? 7-1 in the past 6 months on this map, but their only loss to this exact roster. Vitality look for vengeance in this map, and in this match, Mirage is uncertain, and they don't want to go there. Can Vitality make it clean and clinical on this stage? Cloud9 with a brick wall on Inferno. They got brittle, they got broken apart after that eco round win. Now Vitality look to go all the way around the world, back to this A site. Got a double setup here, Electronic baiting with a smoke out. And Axel, a commendable performance in the first map, keeping up his elimination stage run. But with the entirety of Vitality coming his way.
Gonna have their work cut out for them. Electronic underhands that smoke in, dropping it close, and even goes on to open. Cloud9, they will lose the point, man. Electronic is spammed out, and Vitality now move back. They're gonna join up with Apex. Apex has played Cloud9 like a fiddle here. The rotate comes out, and he finds the perfect gap. Apex threads the needle, allowing that bomb plant to come in. So now the retake afoot for Cloud9. A little ways out is Axel, so they've got to wait. They've got to be patient. Wait till everyone is ready to strike. Apex spotted. It's ZywOo to take the next contact. Kills going back and forth, but Vitality will edge it out. And Flames is the man to step up and start this one strong. That is every pistol round in this series going the way of Vitality.
Oh, those footsteps, rotations being run are music to Apex's ears. He plays them for a fool. And Cloud9, you can feel the pressure falling on their heads right now. The fact that they full rotate off of the B site when they even have a smoke in the way at A, that is desperation for Cloud9. A disastrous call to make. And no doubt that Apex has outcalled Boomich in this matchup already, despite a strong T-side start on Inferno. Vitality one-up them in that offensive half. And a pistol round deploys Vitality for a strong start on Anubis as well. Because remember, when we saw this team take on and lose to Cloud9 and the RMR, it was not close. 13-5. It was a stop for Cloud9. But it was also a map Vitality knew was coming in today, one way or another, 2 or 3. That was the question. So you know Vitality are ready.
I'm glad you talk about this head-to-head of Apex v Boomich because, you know, one of the things that I think has been so cool is watching this evolution of Apex as a player from ending his Source career on that very game squad all the way through into CSGO where he had to live through the French shuffle. He had to rebuild himself, moving off of the entry role into that IGLing territory, a task that he said he always wanted to do but didn't feel comfortable doing, not until he had to when Alex stepped out of this roster. And so over time you've witnessed him constantly evolve. Another challenge emerges when Vitality make the call to go international. And so he's dropped into a whole new environment, has to step up again. But this guy has always been able to adapt, he's always been able to overcome. And so if he has gone away, and he did do the prep after they got beaten down by Cloud9 on this map last time, anticipating that it was going to crop up at some point in this series, you know that Apex is going to come into this with ideas.
Yeah, he certainly had pieces around him, fantastic pieces around him, but yeah, some punches being thrown the way of Apex. I mean, even losing Zonic for this Vitality organization was a big question mark, with X-Stats having to come in, some of the largest shoes to fill in Counter-Strike against the best GOAT, the GOAT of coaching. And on top of that, ZywOo even being sick in that elimination stage. You know, that's a rarity. ZywOo farms groups. But at least he's shown up here for the stage. That T-side was a great sign from ZywOo.
Some would say that's where he does his best work. And so seeing, you know, ZywOo in this position now where the kind of excuses are naught, there's no almost like floating around. You want him to show that he can do it versus, you know, a top 20 squad up here on the stage at a major.
I mean, this is just the beginning, right? Of course, you have questions about that second quarterfinal, the FaZe Spirit conundrum, the possibility, maybe some would say probability, that we have ZywOo v Donk, a matchup we've yet to have. But you've got to get there first. And Cloud9 don't look too disturbed just yet. Talk about star players turning in-game leaders, Electronic on your screens. He had to go through the same thing in Cloud9. It was quite the opposite to Apex, I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, the difference there was, right, where Apex was able to kind of overcome that emotional barrier and keep going with the leadership role. Electronic wasn't.
Yeah, he even said it himself. He gets too emotional, he gets too invested. He shuts down at times. And so it always felt inevitable that Cloud9 would have to fix the roles in this team. It's always been the biggest talking point, lack of AWP. Lack of in-game leader, lack of identity, but not lack of firepower.
No, it's certainly not with Axal's form looking to have a serious uptick. I mean, I know they fall down in that first map, but some of the kills he was getting, some of the flicks that were coming through, you could just, you know, for a moment it was like you were watching Axal at his very best, and that's something that's been out of reach for the longest time now.
He's a one-half hero though, Harry. Need that consistency across the board, and that has been the biggest problem for Cloud9, what we call them the rotating door of rifles. Anyone can step up on the stage or a match. There's no guarantees, and without that, quarters may be as far as you go. How can you establish an era or a dynasty or take trophies with such unreliable results? Cloud9 are getting put to the test in this opening round.
Someone that it's well worth talking about, Spinks, on our screens, just kind of taking a moment to take it all in, looking out into the crowd.
The last, two majors, or 3 majors ago rather, Spinks quarterfinal against this very core of Cloud9. He was in Ents, they were in Na'Vi. Back at Antwerp, well, we know how that went. Na'Vi all the way to those finals.
Yeah.
Right now he's looking for revenge.
And Spinks, before he headed into that semi-final, he even said he wanted to play versus that Na'Vi squad. He wanted to beat them. He wanted a chance to play up against the very best. And in that series, even though they got banged out, Spinks was the guy trying to keep his squad in it. And even when he left that Ents team, where he kind of kick-started his whole career and moved to this Vitality squad, he admitted that was a very tough decision, but at the end of the day, he wanted to lift trophies. And so that was his reason for joining Vitality. That's what this team is supposed to do. And so that little tech pause out of the way. We're ready to get right back into this. Royal Arena, come on, let me hear you! That's more like it, okay. Vitality have won the pistol. They've often been good at converting them. I don't need to tell you that. And Cloud9 aren't bringing any resistance to the party this time. They want to get those rifles out straight away. There should be very little room for this one to get weird.
CT side of Anubis, an extremely uncomfortable position to be, an unenviable position to be for Cloud9. So already as Vitality continue their hot streak of converting pistols, I'm assured in this round, Cloud9 once again start from the back foot. Defense doing them no favors in this series.
Yeah, this is a lock-in round, and Cloud9 know it. There was no illusion in their minds. They're very much playing for when those rifles come out. And you mentioned it, they've been playing on the back foot all series long with no pistol rounds found so far. They've always had to try and battle back into this from behind.
Okay, overcommitment, but it shouldn't be an issue. That gun gets grabbed. And crisis averted for Vitality. It's almost as clean as it could be.
Last time these teams matched up on this map, Cloud9 dominated them, and so they want to get back to those winning ways as fast as they can. They need something to look forward to in this series, and this was supposed to be it. It was a Hail Mary of a pick. A lot of people anticipated that Overpass would be the map we see come through for this Cloud9 squad.
And that was off the back, that previous game, off of an 8-round CT side. So this is where Cloud9 should be comfortable. That's against the rule, that's the exception. So what did Vitality learn from that loss? Aggressive start for Hobbit, attempting to swing through that dark smoke. Won't meet Vitality there. And even as he exits his path, fraught with danger, grenades going through it. In that mid-pop as well. Flames finds Electronic getting aggressive. There's another one coming through, and Axel's here for his head. Takes a second kill.
So much damage done down to these players outside of A. Both Mezzi and Zaiwu are low. Vitality are going to look to punish this. get punished rather, but they end up leaving. They end up getting out of there. And so for now, they'll maintain this 4-on-4, but they are wounded. They are hurting.
As the gamble going for Cloud9, that's the question on the tip of Apex's tongue. Can he find the answer of the block? Attempted an opener for Spinks, nothing is found. Nothing is guaranteed, and nothing in this A site but Boomich.
Something's called him back. Drops back into the site. Smoke off over in main. Vitality were grouping for the A hit. Boomich is all that stands here for Cloud9. Two low players on the other side of this smoke in Zywoo and Mezzi. And Boomich with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Is that too much to bear? Smoke blowing open. Boomich can't get back. And so the captains clash and Apex comes out smiling.
That was a huge opportunity for Boomich, right? Two players in his crosshair. The low player first, even on that smoke break, but perfect utility on the execute for Vitality. They answer the call and keep theirs as well. 3-0 off of this T side. The pressure of this stage is a very different beast to the comfort of a LAN hall for Cloud9. It has been some time.
Here's the thing though, you know, you talk about pressure. This is where you have to rise to the occasion. You have to step up. Someone like Flames on the other side, right? He's adjusting fantastically to this.
Yeah.
Only 20 years old, youngest player on Vitality, and he's had standout performances on both maps. Even in this one, he's the guy who starts it off over here in middle.
I mean, you have a lot to compete with when you talk about young players in this Vitality team, right? Look at Zywoo's breakout year, straight to #1, the youngest player to ever do that.
Followed it up the next year as well.
Of course, a couple more in there, a couple years later. And I mean, even now, we've never had a teenager be #1 in their debut year.
Oh, Exile.
It's a nice play, but they just crossed past it. These new smokes are beautiful to look at. But they're not doing Cloud9 any favors. They've got to pop through on A main. Boomich with a block. Nothing but this smoke.
Cloud9 often find a lot of success in challenging for these fights. On players crossing over towards A, able to lock out rounds a lot of the time in this portion of the map. And right now, Vitality have dodged that threat time and time again. So clearly work has gone in. They were ready for this today. The A defense is just Boomich on a USP, and even as Electronic moves in to join him, great, now there's a P250 here as well. That's hardly a winning recipe. And Vitality, full onslaught of util. Full focus as they come through. One out of Boomich on the USP, but he's got to do more, and he can't. Mezzi secures both the openers. Vitality are home free in this round. Maybe if Spinks gives this one up, but he's not being overzealous. Instead, he's just holding for this swing back in. And now he's got Mezzi alongside him.
Signed and sealed here for Vitality to send a message to Cloud9. We will abuse this A-bomb site. And with a doubt with that pistol round thrown in, that late lurk through dark, Cloud9 can't always be confident that that's necessarily where Vitality are going, even if they find that opening kill. A couple of rounds of clean executes for Vitality has set a precedent to start this map. 4-0, Cloud9 need to come back.
And Apex is acutely aware of how he's making Cloud9 feel. It felt like back with Inferno, Cloud9's whole game plan was to try and bully Apex over towards B, deny that banana control, get rid of that early. And we saw the effect that that had. Vitality started leaning more players over towards that side of the map. And then that would open up other avenues later on in the game. Vitality are now seeking to do the same thing. They want Cloud9 paranoid. They want that A site scared. They want extra numbers pulled over towards A because we already saw in the pistol, they've got that ability to change direction on the fly.
Boomich's all comes out early. It's a great map for it. Lots of opening positions to be played. Lots of moves to be made. Zywoo holds on to Dark, but they get an HE right on his head. Boomich is not looking to tackle with the best. Spinks holding strong outside of B. Again, Vitality play towards the water. They're giving time and space for not only ZywOo to find a kill, but for Flames to keep the pressure on middle. All over the map, Cloud9 losing information, losing real estate. They've got to take something. It's going to be B.
To do that, they've got to get through Spinks, which is easier said than done. First kill found. They're going to try and flash him off the angle, but Spinks a little faster, a little smarter, was ready for that play. And so Perfecto is never given the chance to trade, but he wants it, he needs it. That voice in his head is calling him back for it, but he'll back up. Concede that opening kill. Boomich besting ZywOo, but Perfecto is caught in the crossfire. Boomich has got to do this all alone now. This AWP on his back is the only thing that stands between that and the Vitality round being won. Boomich, all these shots missing, nails the first, but can't take it any further.
ZywOo is just so damn fast. Even as Perfecto's on that wider angle, he somehow removes him from the round before Boomich gets the trade off. And that is a worthy 1-for-1 for Vitality. Cracking open an undefended B-bomb site, where even Boomich's antics on the AWP are not enough. Not a surprise, as this has been the biggest question point for Cloud9. High highs, low lows, no AWP, the most pivotal role in Counter-Strike. And Cloud9 have been unable to feel those huge boots left by Shiro. Will be on this very stage later today. Vitality proving that that Cloud9 8-round CT side might just be an anomaly in this stage matchup.
Right now, it's not like Cloud9 have anything to go off of. It's not like anyone's been given that heroic performance thus far. You know, Axel was inspiring a lot of faith, a lot of confidence back on Inferno. But here, it is a slow start across the board.
Yeah. And what a sad way for Cloud9 to fall apart if that's what we're going to get in the second map as well, because their major run has been absolutely phenomenal. Near flawless from the RMR, a 3-0, a win over Vitality, straight into the major, taking down big dogs, taking down Na'Vi, G2. Their only loss in this whole circuit is to Spirit, and we'll give them that. Vitality, sure, they've been fairly clean, but they've not nearly faced the same level of opposition that Cloud9 have had to contend with. Wins over Imperial, the Mongols. And sure, complexity made them work for it. And that warm-up came at the right time. Vitality red hot in the Royal Arena.
Is there any stopping them? Is there any slowing down this T side? Cloud9 have not had solutions yet. Vitality have been full of them. Another AWP out for Boomich here, finds its way over towards B once again. Vitality once more set their eyes on this A site.
It's again painstakingly slow on these T sides for Vitality, getting all their ducks in a row. And knocking down Axel, he's trapped out. That molly forces a fight, he'll only take one.
Does well to get out of it with a 1-for-1 there. The util would have wrecked him, so he had to take that swing. Vitality aren't feeling pressure to commit. They've still got plenty of time left to play with. They like toying with Cloud9. They like getting in their heads. They want them doubting every move, and so as Cloud9 have adjusted heavy over towards middle, over towards A, Hobbit is left as the sole B-site defender. Spinks has been waiting back at B long since the start of the round. Hobbit pushes into dark. It's just the 1-for-1 as ZywOo's AWP fires off in reply.
Some of the most phenomenal trading for Vitality in this map so far. No kill goes unpunished, no play comes out for free. And now a free B-bomb site in its entirety. A smoke to stop Perfecto from getting involved. That bomb doesn't have to cross. ZywOo can take this fight if he wants, but it would be risky. Oh, he can wallbang. The bot's coming in, denied by Boomich. 10 seconds, someone's got to save him. Perfecto can filter through. Boomich Match takes 2, and Cloud9 are on the board.
And it's Boomic's AWP that gets them there.
About time.
Taking out the most decorated AWPer that we have in these major playoffs. And he's the guy where the AWP's just the decoration. But look at this, he spots a arm, he takes the leg 2 times over.
Can't be one and done. It's got to be the start of something here on a very difficult half.
I mean, in that game, we touched upon it earlier on when these teams have matched up on this map last time. Boomich did actually outshine on that AWP, which is a wild thing to even take into consideration, but a little 2K like that, it's put some wind in his sails. He starts this round off aggressive over towards A main.
It's a very different day. It's very different stakes. Staying ahead of the curve. Mitch is on a new line. Of course, that's a round of Vitality. Leave this position open completely. Nice nade to put pressure on Door. Allows Vitality to walk all the way through middle. They can play the fade of this smoke. They use it to spot. Apex with little tricks on this mid take.
Start pressuring. They're going through that smoke. Axile is run down. Boomich again has got to deliver on this AWP, and it just sails past Flames, who seems determined, who seems so active on this T-side. Flames topping the charts right now. And he was like the one man you could have looked to have questioned for this Vitality squad. The one man you could have made a case for struggling under the bright lights. But not in this game. Flames is here to stay, that much is apparent.
And he's the reason they got hit so clean as well. That game over complexity was an absolute struggle for Vitality. He had to drag them out. It was on this map. He came through with a massive second pistol round with a 3K that propelled them into a comeback. It put them 3-1. They needed the help, they needed extra hands. ZywOos were not working. And right now we're seeing that statement from Boomich after the 3-0 opening stage come true. I am not a stable AWPer, he claims. Continuing to show us one glimmer of hope, one nice round in the mix, but with the exception of that, it's been all misses.
And they're so determined to keep it in play. They keep going back to it. Boomich donning that AWP again. And it will be a focal point for this CT side. It will be something you have to keep an eye on here. You have to acknowledge no one else showing up around him. He sits top of the board for Cloud9 in spite of the missteps. And so this AWP has something to answer for, but where is everyone else for Cloud9?
Vitality have not lost this trade in Dark one round. Ollie forces a decision. Hobbit must escape. Vitality get this one for free, finally. There is blocking util on this B bomb side, but it has to hurry up quick. It has to come through as Perfecto drops his final nade. Vitality emerge into the site. ZywOos can't find that entry kill. Hobbit holds for one, but again, not enough. Feels like it won't be the last time we say that for Cloud9. They crumble. A brittle B site.
Electronics trying to make a move here. Trying to rejuvenate the squad as he plays through this smoke, but tagged up on the push. Axile instead tries to take up the mantle of the man to pull this back, but set up from the flashbang. Apex puts Flames in a spot to succeed, and he continues to exert that dominance over this T side.
Flames is absolutely on fire. That position gained up on the lip so he can wait for the flash. He was in no hurry. He just wants to end this round and take everything away.
He saw the AWP. He knows Boomich is here, and they want that gone. This AWP is the only threatening thing coming out next round, and it will get removed. Vitality aren't just confident anymore. They do not respect Cloud9. They want this win to be a brutal and swift vengeance. Another timeout for Cloud9, but I don't think that this will be enough to save them here.
This is fantastic for Vitality. There is no doubt about it. They've had a pretty harrowing start to the year. It's always, or at least usually downhill after winning the major. It's so hard to keep it up, especially with roster changes on the horizon. The GOAT coach gone. To pastures with more green, but it's still Vitality succeeding on major stages. Exactly what this team was made to do. Exactly what you'd expect from the caliber of players this roster fields, and the captain is keeping them in it. Anything but calm. Ferocious T-Half of Anubis right now. Another AWP, another heavy investment. Will these purchases ever pay off?
Even if that orb starts firing on all cylinders, even if somehow Boomich rises to the occasion, he's not the big issue in this one. There's no supporting cast around him, and so sure, they're putting a lot of money in to keep bringing it out. You gotta have some faith in this orb on Boomich right now. Flames, full faith in this guy. 12-2, topping the charts for Vitality, and carving a path to the semi-finals. It's all Flames. 8-1, another save for Cloud9. This is getting dismal, this is getting brutal. This is exactly how Vitality, if you asked them, this is exactly how they would envision a grudge match between these teams going down. This is how you want to propel yourself into those semis. You need the confidence up. You want Flames believing in this squad and bringing his best.
Oh, he is not stopping right now. Absolutely brutal. Got to save this orb in something, but is it nothing for Cloud9? 4 major winners on this squad. They are crumbling under the bright lights. And it's recency bias. It's the next generation. It's the young stars shining for Vitality. Flames doesn't have this stage experience. It is not deterring him. Absolutely dominating the server. And no successor for Cloud9.
And this has even been the story throughout the rest of the major so far for Vitality. It's been spearheaded by Spinks and by Flames. And Flames is showing his best look yet here in the quarterfinals. He has become what Cloud9 feared. Flames is rocking their world, setting fire to the rain that falls on Cloud9's parade. Boomich is holding on tightly to this AWP. He's clutching his mouse right now like never before, hoping that he can do something, he can deliver anything to Cloud9. But they don't make life easy for Orpers. They don't make life easy for Boomich. A fast reposition out of Dark. Gets posted on main. Vitality are going to come walking into this AWP. Perfecto dead as he tries to make a play, and now it is just Boomich left in the clutch.
Trying to get ahead of them. He's trying to read one step further than Vitality, but they don't fear, they don't cower in front of the Boomich orb. They're going back into the bomb site as Boomich goes around the world, hoping, praying. The Vitality overdo this, but they don't. Determined walk into this B bomb site, and a plant that puts them well and truly in a winning position. 9-1, maybe guaranteed. Can Boomich even justify this rotation?
And this is just a brutal way to lose a round. For Boomich, you know, he was trying to build into this one. He gets that first kill, was in the right place, and he tries to get ahead of it. That's the leader in him, trying to outread the opposition. But it leaves him far and away from winning this clutch. And so it will never even get attempted. Now, not only are they getting outperformed, they're getting outcooled, they're getting outmaneuvered, they're getting outread. Vitality coming through with their A game.
Yeah, I gotta say, you know, even though Flames is red hot right now, he's 15-2, he's looking indomitable. The calling has been fantastic for Vitality. No kill has gone untraded, with the exception of Zywoo walking through that smoke. Vitality have been so cautious, they've been so together. Axel has been offered nothing more than a 1-for-1 on A main, and he was the star of the show back on Inferno. He was a guy getting the rounds going for Cloud9. He has just been absolutely iced out in this map as an A anchor. A very difficult position on a good day. Vitality make it look like hell on earth. And so Apex's leadership once again putting Vitality at the forefront of a major run. Simply 4 rounds from semis and a quick day in the office.
You can't even imagine what this must feel like for Flames. This is one of these like career highlight moments. This is one of these career defining matches.
Yeah, look at Spinks, he's 1-4. He's not a factor. We haven't said Zywoo's name. None of this matters.
And you know, when you're on a team with someone who had to rise as fast and as hard as Zywoo, and everyone's talking about you, that speaks volumes. Zywoo decides he wants to be brought into that conversation, gets involved here and now. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. It's Zywoo's double kill that tees up Vitality for double digits.
They're making it look like Inferno. 1-2 kills, you just win the round. Cloud9 are trying to get aggressive to regain space, but Vitality are still waiting on their default. This will give them something. This will give them more kills. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But Flames a missed shot, and Electronic keeps Cloud9 in consideration.
Awkward thing here, this is actually one of the better spots you've been in to attempt to retake, and even then, Spinks roars to life. Haven't even had to mention him throughout this game so far, but he gets his, and Vitality looking to get theirs is now Cloud9, 2 versus 4, and it might be another dismal save. With each one of these, they have to sit there, let the round wash over them, let the game wash over them. They can't come to terms with their failures here, but they have been let down in this second map. It felt wild. The Anubis pick comes through. That's Cloud9 believing in their pool, believing in their game. They've had good results on this one, but Vitality have come through ready. They have come through prepared.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Cloud9 got into their own head right with that veto, knowing that this map would be allowed as a third. Sure, Mirage was never going to be comfortable for Vitality, but Cloud9 make a case for the best CT site in the world on Overpass, and I bet they are wishing they had the chance to show that today. Obliterated on Anubis. Cloud9 come crashing down.
If this keeps up, right at the dawn of CS2, you might have the most dominant loss in a major playoff game, right? Just looking to come down the pipeline as a CS2 record set early, pending any 13-0s in the remainder of the tournament. It's a pretty rough one to have to try and beat.
Cloud9 keep their head in it right now. Relentless AWP investments. Sure, it paid off for their 1 round. But is that reproducible? Or is it just a flash in the pan? A domineering Vitality, looking to again walk it over the line. Got a double setup here. 2 of the most terrifying stars of Cloud9, but snuffed out, eclipsed in this map. Axel and Electronic on a final stand.
And that's actually how much Electronic is shaking right now. Look at him go up close towards main. Axel holds this tight line, looking for anything, but he's out of it. Check out. Electronic just might bring them back in right when you thought it was over. Shooting for the stars at 2 on the half. And what a time for him to have stepped up here. This was about to be a wash. No contest. Still very much could be, but Cloud9 looking for anything, clutching at straws, clutching at Electronic. Zywoo forced out by the Molotov into that AWP. And now it's just Spinks. Stone cold on the first half, never had to do anything, was never required, left in a rough 1v4, and Electronic rising to the occasion with 4 kills. Last of the half is put up by Cloud9.
Absolutely nothing to celebrate, not even a smile on the face at this point, because Cloud9 have still lost every single pistol in this series. The conversions, for the most part, clean on Vitality. They've got to break the streak at the hardest point in the match, at their last dawn on this playoff run. It never even begun.
And even the difference in just the body language that we're seeing as we get ready to head into this second half. Cloud9 pull off a round like that. Usually those are the ones you're celebrating over, but there's nothing to celebrate when you get 2 rounds on your CT side. Not when it was the CT side that carried you to that dominant win over this squad last time you matched up. Vitality, they just refocus. They want this one over and done with now, and nothing in this series is there to suggest that Cloud9 have got what it takes to win a pistol round. If they lose this pistol, then it is not left to the imagination, not left to wonder as to why they lost this series. They would not have picked up a single pistol on both maps. Vitality, it's the expectation. It's what we're used to. And they're looking to make moves in the mid-round to complicate matters, pushing out through B main. Boomich and Perfecto are here. They spot that push at least. Electronic picks up a kill over in middle. Starting to pick up form at the end of regulation. Hobbit with that reply at least gets the trade onto Flames. A huge kill to find with the form that Flames is showing here. So now Spinks is left as the sole defender of this B site.
This is a nice move. It's going to give Vitality a bit of info. It will let Mezzy gamble, but it's still up to Spinks. Silent in that first half, alone at the back of the site. The backstab a second too late. Spinks is covered by smokes, but he's got an open sight line here to stop that bomb while Mezzy taps out 2. Spinks is here to help, and it's domination from Vitality. Not just in this map, not just in this series, but in the pistols as well.
What a turnaround. You thought for a moment, if you're Cloud9, you had something going your way, but Mezzy and Spinks robbed that pistol.
I think they even missed the smokes there. That smoke's in the middle of the site. There's one on CT. That feels like it's meant for Temple. Cloud9 crumbling under the weight of major winners. Here they go, a final ditch hurrah, a force with no plant, explosion into this site. Mezzy is caught with a Molotov in hand. He's got a crossing help, but it won't last long. Cloud9 break in, then they break down. Apex is here to hound them. And this might be as good as done.
Axar's a long way away. Vitality are going for the throat. They want this to be embarrassing. They want this to be one-sided. They want to go into that semi-finals riding a high, and they just might. 1 round away from it. And Apex, as the tenured captain, as the veteran, is the one that opens up that retake. There is no doubting Vitality are here in Copenhagen, and they mean business.
They brought their cohort. Almost feels like home advantage, but Paris was last year. And in the present moment, Cloud9 take a breather. They take their final opportunity. A timeout up against elimination point here at the playoffs. Vitality making a statement. Spirit are your favorites. We're here to play as well. Cloud9 certainly can't get in their way.
Showing as well that the talent on this roster goes far deeper than just ZywOo. This has been all about Flames. This one's been all about Spinks. ZywOo's barely had to lift a finger. His teammates have got this. He believes in them. So this could be it. This could be Vitality reaching the semi-finals right now in ludicrously dominant fashion. Cloud9, they've looked done since the midpoint of that first half. They have been overpowered, they have been outcalled, they've got nothing to show for this Anubis pick. A map that has been nothing but kind to the Cloud9 squad becomes their greatest enemy in a major quarterfinal.
And after such a clean run, such a dominant run from RMR to the playoffs, one lost series in a BO1 to the world favorites. And Cloud9, nothing short of indefensible in this series. Vitality, again, info play, gathering it towards B. It's going to free up rotations. They know Cloud9 are in the middle. They're using util to block, to buy time. ZywOo has the bulk. He sees them coming.
Flames and ZywOo here to withstand this. They will open up. ZywOo getting involved! And now it's just Flames. Toppled and run down. Spinks on the rotate out through middle. Vitality sit a man up in this retake. They want this one over and done with here and now. And one man stands between them and that semi-final. Today, V is for victory and for vengeance. Vitality come through swinging and they don't miss. They might have fallen to Cloud9 last time around, but they get their revenge here and now, and it's Cloud9 who wilt away on the big stage.
Yeah, fantastic signs on that first map, but Cloud9 absolutely disappear, an indefensible orb, even the leadership lacking on these T sides, and Cloud9, there is no silver lining in this Cloud.
They will need more performances like that from Flames, more performances like this from Spinks, and they're gonna need ZywOo come that semi-final. There's even a world where we get that ZywOo v Donk matchup. They'll need these players to keep up this level of performance, but this is exactly how Vitality wanted their quarterfinal run to start.
Yeah, what a debut in CS2 after ending Go at the highest of highs. It was never gonna be easy to keep it up, but now we can see as they start their run in the Royal Arena.
Vitality have secured their semi-final spot. And Flames, when it came to you guys qualifying for the playoffs, you put up a huge performance. Just now on Anubis, you were feeling that you were just going off?
Yeah, I think obviously we prepared because we knew the group stage was a bit off from us, but we also had 2 sick players. We lacked a lot of energy, and now we can feel the energy. Matu is awake, Spinks is awake. Dan gave great calls, so he showed on the server today.
What about you, though? Did something change for you in this?